It is the newest music from the country where Handel composed the Messiah. This is punk rock, and its purpose, one observer says, is to promote violence, sex, and destruction in that order.
Over the last 12 months, punk rock has become almost a battle cry in British society. For many people, it's a bigger threat to our way of life than Russian communism or hyperinflation, and it certainly generates more popular excitement than either of those.
Right. My personal view on punk rock is that it's nauseating, disgusting, degrading, ghastly, sleazy, prurient, voyeuristic, and generally nauseating. I think that just about covers it as far as I'm concerned. I think most of these groups would be vastly improved by sudden death. The worst of the punk rock groups, I suppose, currently are the Sex Pistols. They are unbelievably nauseating. They are the antithesis of humankind. I would like to see somebody dig a very, very large, exceedingly deep hole and drop the whole bloody lot down it. You know, I think the whole world would be vastly improved by their total and utter non-existence.
I am told that that group have received £40,000 from a record company. Doesn't that seem to be slightly opposed to their anti-materialistic view of life?
No, more the merrier.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, tell me more about it.
We fucking spent it, haven't we?
I don't know, have you?
Yeah, it's all gone.
Really?
Down the boozer.
40, really? Good Lord. Now, I want to know one thing.
What?
Are you serious, or are you just trying to make me laugh?
Gone.
Really?
Yeah.
No, but I mean about what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
You are serious? Beethoven, Mozart, Bach and Brahms have all died.
Ours, haven't they?
Really?
Oh,
What are we saying, sir?
Wonderful people.
Are they?
Oh yes, they really turn us on.
What do they do?
Well, suppose they turn other people on.
That's just their tough tricks.
It's what?
Nothing, a rude word. Next question.
No. What was the rude word?
Shit.
Was it really? Good heavens, you frightened me to death.
all right. See,
What about you girls behind?
He's like your dad, isn't he, this geezer?
Are you,
Or your granddad.
are you worried, or are you just enjoying yourself?
Enjoying myself.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's what I thought you were doing.
I always wanted to meet you.
Did you really?
Yeah.
We'll meet afterwards, shall we?
You dirty son. You dirty old man.
Well, keep going, Chick, keep going. Go on, you've got another 5 seconds. Say something
You
outrageous.
dirty bastard.
Go on, again.
You dirty fucker.
What a clever boy.
What a fucking rotter.
Well, that's it for tonight. The other rocker, Abel, and I'm saying nothing else about him, will be back tomorrow. I'll be seeing you soon. I hope I'm not seeing you again. From me, though, good night.
Like by this protest, to make Wales know, to let the people of this town know that we do protest, and it is by no fault of ours that this thing has come to Caerphilly. We have done everything humanly possible to ban this thing and to stop it. And as we have not been able to, we have done the last thing possible to stand here in open protest to let you know that we are responsible and we are doing all we can to set an example in leadership and in every other way for clean living, holy living, and pure living.
According to the story, after this happy signing ceremony, everyone went back to the A&M offices to celebrate. The 4 Sex Pistols apparently over-celebrated, tore up the office, scared the secretaries, and lived up to their public image of thorough obnoxiousness. Fired again. But this time, A&M had to pay out a whole lot more to get rid of them. £75,000.
What do you think of Sex Pistols? Crap.
How do you react to your group's reputation as being the most revolting in the country?
I find it very amusing.
And yet it's said that you're sick on stage, you spit at the audience and so on. I mean, how can this be a good example to children?
Well, people are sick everywhere. People are sick and fed up of this country, telling them what to do.
But not getting paid for it.
Pardon?
But not getting paid for putting on that sort of public show.
Well, nor are we. We ain't even being allowed to play.
Makes you sick,
One way they stood up for their working class audience and got headlines was by vomiting all over Heathrow Airport in London. And there were some 4-letter words thrown about in loud voices. That got their first record company, EMI, a subsidiary of Capitol Records, upset.
And I feel that this is the payoff of a punk society. I feel that we have punk parents, we have punk politicians, we have punk clergymen, and we have punk sportsmen. I'm thinking of a young boy in a prison cell that crawled on his hands and knees toward me, 17 years of age.
You know, it's just his life is so intensely profound, you know, like the Sex Pistols are. They're just
Their lyrics and everything about them is so deep, you can just really get into them.
Well, you see, we have had punk rock in Birmingham, unfortunately, and we've been looking at some of it now, but they didn't show any of the damage that is caused by these punk rock groups, and now they're bringing out these freak punk rock groups. We've had them in Birmingham, but I can assure you, and I speak as a magistrate, a licensing magistrate, and a magistrate on the entertainment licensing committee, that we're not going to have this sort of punk rock again.
Have you been to a punk rock
concert?
concert?
Yes, we've had them in. I've been. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And you see, the whole thing behind this punk rock is to stimulate noise, as we saw from the film there.
Well, there you go. That guy who you reckon was primed actually happens to be a member of a band called the Angelic Upstarts. Now, they're a band who started off very similar to yourself, Johnny, in the Sex Pistols.
Can you stop?
Yes, come on.
I don't give two what they're called. It's simple. Don't tell me I sold out, pal.
I didn't tell you.
Walked out.
That guy.
It was the only honest band in 2,000 million years. I could not help the management being corrupt. I don't want to talk about the past. I want to go on.
Well, all right. He also spoke about what you're doing now, and he reckons you've sold out. And
is this
he doesn't
like...
know what we're doing now. He doesn't seem to know anything.
Well,
has he ever seen us?
Could you... I don't know, I didn't ask him that. Could you let us know what you're doing now, what you're into now, what your link with the street?
Look, I don't have to explain myself to anybody, and I ain't going to really bother. Now, I was asked here, right, to interview with the band here, Pill, but now, like, we're facing a cheapskate comedy interrogation act, and it just ain't on, pal. It's a joke. It's a farce.
You mean you don't want to give any messages to
I don't have to explain myself. Sooner or later, somebody will open their eyes. Oh, sorry, rude word.
Well, it sounds like we've heard this story before.
Really? Would you like to tell me where? Good night.
Good night.
Will I continue?
Well, that's up to you entirely. Do you all follow the leader?
Yeah, you ain't no leader.
Well, all right.
I thought that was the point of having four people. You asked just me and him, didn't you? To do
all right,
an
come on,
interview,
the rest of the band.
Why don't you try answering an intelligent question? Try and think of one.
Tell you what.
If you never asked one in your life.
Let's forget about it all.
Right.
Yeah, I think you should.
No, that is total cop-out.
Cop-out.
This idea that the punk rock scene is born of social protest may or may not be true until they actually learn how to speak and enunciate the Queen's English and put their arguments forward in an intelligible fashion. I shall be quite unable to judge the validity of what they are alleged to think.
I think I heard one time that they urinate on the audience one time. Why, I don't know. It just sounds goofy.
I've wondered from time to time whether punk rock is really anything to do with music.
Well, I think it's obviously the music is the thing which brings all of the people together in the first place, and a lot of the music has, I think, fairly important political comments to make, and those comments may be naive, but I think we've tended to believe over the years that because political expression was naive, that there was somehow something wrong about it, in the same way that we tend to find management people more plausible than trade union people because they speak better. I think the naivety in the music really has got very little to do with the sincerity or accuracy of the statements that it's making politically.